Blog Talk Radio.
Yo, what's up, world? It's badass thuggin' like I usually do, and you better turn it up, bust some speakers out, cause we off the motherfucking cuff. You dig how we do it? Dog Pound Gangsters 2000 and beyond. Black.
Yo, check this out. This is your girl, Cola Vogue, and I'm chilling with my boys right here on Off the Cuff Radio. Cause we off the cuff right now. You dig?
Bet. What's up? It's your boy Lil Yap from UNLV, bragging up from the river, cooling with my homies and my family at Off the Cuff Radio. Y'all be sure to tune in on Fridays and get the latest scoop and find out what's happening. You heard me?
Tiffany Lavon.
And it's Queen Crazy, your girl's favorite bartender.
And we're from
Sex on the Rocks podcast.
Alright, you're now tuning in to Off the Cuff Radio.
Yeah, because they keep representing that real hip-hop. Well, much love.
Alright.
Y'all, this is Miss Irresistible, giving a shout out to the livest show on Friday nights Off the Cuff Radio. And I'm live from the 704. Make sure y'all tune in for the blazing hot music.
Hey y'all, this is Stacey Lachey, giving a shout out to King Eric and Off the Cuff Radio.
What's shaking, y'all? This is the Grand, one half of Lost Cause and 1/3 of that Drive Time thing. Sending my love to the homies over at Off the Cuff Radio. Tune in every Friday night for some real deal hip-hop conversation. These dudes are the connoisseurs of this thing. You already know what it is. BX Stand Up, HUD City, we're shaking. Peace.
Yo, this is Dope Fresh to Dine, and y'all tuned in to the most raw, uncut show on radio, the Guillotine Team, Off the Cuff, and yo, Eric, Sandman, off of these clowns' heads.
It's brownSUGar, baby.
Some nigga that trickin' to blow that shit and get the fuck out. I ain't sellin' ass, bitch, I count it, then I dip out. Pimpin' know these hoes like the weed and then we lip out. Begging ass niggas always crying with they lip out. Baby, let me show you this ain't shit that you be used to. Shook, take that money, act stupid when that rent due. Tryna pay that light bill, but this ain't never like moves. We gon' hit the club, show these niggas, get that ass loose. Shorty bout that ratchet shit and yeah, I'm talking loose too. Came to have fun, and them niggas on the roof too. Hit a lady club, down the strippers finna shoot too. Watch them shorties rob you in the parking lot behind you. Robbing every nigga that came with money when they spent through. Take money while we screaming, speeding when we done boo. Take money, make money, shake money, money, money. Better act some dirty bros, this ain't play money, nigga.
Guys, give it to him.
Back in bread, if you done ducked, then you done lucked out. Niggas acting scared, vicious, baby, we done fucked out. Beat it till it's dead, like the instrument to cut out. Spin these niggas' heads, shorty plan, we finna rough house. Everybody on the floor, don't move and stay the fuck down. Bitches, we finna turn this club into a trap house. Semi-autos losing, niggas losing, finna tap out. Niggas that can touch, shorty beat them for the bust down. Move the white, increase the price, bag it just to flip it. You off the bag and smoking trash, we ain't on the same shit. Niggas off the powder, wasn't you supposed to sell it, nigga? Run it back to take it off, shorty real selfish, what? Pick it up to break it down, on time, that's game time. 238 to send it clip, nigga, that's hang time. Beat the block, increase the stock, put them soldiers in line. Hope you bout that action, nigga, big fat, so take mine.
I'ma take that shit, nigga.
Phone them shorties with me, cold red, let's get the fuck out. Burn this bitch down to the ground before we roll out. Get the Benjis in the van, swerving round when we pull out. All these shorties for your man, we just spraying with the tool out. Niggas flagged up, Scully with the gloves like it's cool out. Niggas racked up, spray this room down, it's a shootout. Niggas take money, make money, shake money, money, money. Better act hustle Simmons, this ain't play money, nigga. What's up?
What's up? Yeah.
BB body on the floor, drop that money on the floor. Shorty wildin' on the floor, wanna see that wallet on the floor. Let me see them dollars on the floor. Shorty sliding down that pole, her friend grinding on the floor. Me and my partner on the floor. On the floor, little baby get started. Double time make these other bitches work harder. Only bad crew on the floor, finna argue. Finna rock this shit and get his money on baller. Heat up the room and you know I'm finna show that. Nigga, don't touch it like I do when you know that. Focus on the stage, baby, that's where the show at. See it bustin' out your pants, so where the dough at. Baby, I'm cordial, nothing more. Big wide low, then she on go. I want that bag, I scope the flow. I read and pockets, so I roll. Don't pull my arm, cause bitch, I'm grown. Don't say my name unless you know me. Don't pull my card unless you focus. I heat up the room, bitch, I'm the cold. Big body on the floor. Drive that money on the floor. Shorty wildin' on the floor. Wanna see that wallet on the floor. Let me see them dollars on the floor. Shorty sliding down that pole. Her friend grinding on the floor. Me and my partner on the floor. Up them bands, little baby, shit, they cake for they cake. Put my gun with the yam, cause the chat. Sweep up the bread, little baby, got the bands on lock. Big body, baby, sugar and fat. Bounce to my toes, little baby, make it worth them hundreds. Do a couple more rounds of the rack. Hustle just toss me the mic at the track. We both 5'1", big body, no cow. I get my money, then I get gone. Oh, you like me? Hell no. Baby, I'm high cause this my flow. I'm full of a Henny, a little Patron. Think this yours, then you was wrong. That booty hitting cause this my song. Plus I want that change before I go. Wanna see that money on the floor. Big body on the floor. Try that money on the floor. Shorty wildin' on the floor. Wanna see that wallet on the floor. Let me see them dollars on the floor. Shorty sliding down that pole. Her friend grinding on the floor. Me and my partner on the floor. Car stripping, 1800 sipping. Bad booty clap, baby, and listen. Big bag getting, I can get it feeling. Racking up the change for them bras that didn't. Looking real hard like nigga with a tip at. Here for a service, little baby, then sit back. Sip on this drink, get loose, then spin that. This is my hustle, so you know I'm finna get that. Wanna see that bag on the floor? Oh, you got it, daddy, show me. I'ma move this body once more. You will supply me on the floor. Big body on the floor. He want it sloppy, so I own it. I'ma ignite it on the floor. Wanna see that money on the floor. Big body on the floor. Try that money on the floor. Shorty wildin' on the floor. Wanna see that wallet on the floor. Let me see them dollars on the floor. Shorty sliding down that pole. Her friend grinding on the floor. Me and my partner on the floor. Big body on the floor. Try that money on the floor. Shorty wildin' on the floor. Wanna see that wallet on the floor. Let me see them dollars on the floor. Shorty sliding down that pole. Her friend grinding on the floor. Me and my partner on the floor. I do that.
What's the deal, y'all? This your boy King Egg the Great. You're now tuned in to episode 343 of the livest hip-hop show on the net, Off the Cuff Radio, sponsored by Buddy Boy Entertainment, Dirty Basement, and soon-to-be Screwball Radio. I got my host T-Max with the facts in the building, representing the VA.
What it do? Two up, two down in the town, all around. 757 to 804 and all around and beyond, man. It's OTC. We on a Monday night, a place to be with all types of raw madness. Getting ready to do it. You feel me?
You already know, man. And you know what? We usually don't even do Mondays, but, man, when you have magnificent talent, you got to sit there and make reservations. Sometimes you got to slide your schedule a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to put some respect on how they get down. So with this lady here, you heard from the two songs automatically. She's a beast on that microphone. And she's here tonight to chop it up with the team. We about to bring out brownSUGar, y'all.
Yep.
What up? How y'all feeling tonight?
What's going on? How
going
you
on?
doing tonight?
Nothing much. I was listening to y'all radio gas station the other night.
We appreciate it.
I was just getting acquainted with y'all. Yeah.
Definitely. And I gotta say, what I'm saying, like King said on the intro, we're always focused and motivated to always bring, to the masses the most marvelous of talent. And for what you're doing, putting VA on the map, all around the Hampton Roads and beyond, you definitely look, you got something special, and that's the reason why we had to get you on.
Thank you.
When you get on the Grammys and all that, you know what I'm saying, and be blowing up on the next level, we gotta say, look, we got brownSUGar with her mahogany flavor magnificence of genius on the microphone before everybody else is.
Thank y'all so much.
So, and when you get there, I'm going to have my Grammy suit already chosen. So we pulling up out there.
Definitely. We sending out invites to everybody.
Definitely.
Yes,
So, I
indeed,
mean,
man. But it's an honor to have you on the show tonight. And we know from the first two songs that we played, like the way you flipped the Hit 'em Up Pop joint was just fire. And then the one we just played with the Big Body, I could tell that you have a very diverse range when it comes to song making. And how's your bassist responded to those songs so far?
Really well. Actually, when I did Big Body, a lot of people that listened to me already was like, wow, you stepped out your comfort zone, and I really, really like it. So it's going to be more of that happening.
Definitely. And, in terms of putting together music, you're from VA like myself. And, one thing about it is that we've had people come from VA, but we have yet to really, really kind of find that new wave, and obviously you're that new wave is, surfing it right now that ain't going to wipe out. You hanging 10, ready for the top 10 in that number one spot gunning.
Yes.
Before all of the the marvelous moves behind the microphone, tell us a little bit about yourself, from where you rep, and how you started and your motivations and inspirations.
Music has always just helped me through a lot in my life. I grew up really fast. I grew up young, so I was experiencing things that most high school kids wasn't, and I needed, after I graduated, I needed something to hold on to, kind of, so that I could keep my happiness, I guess, and I just decided that I was going to make music.
Understood. What part of VA do you rep?
I'm from Norfolk.
Naughty by Norfolk. Y'all know. Naughty by Norfolk, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually went to Booker T.
Okay. Booker's up in the house. BT, right across the street from NSU. Behold the green and gold. Look, for our VA listeners out here, you already know what it is, man. And one thing about it is, even if we, one thing about it in terms of VA, a lot of people really don't understand the musical history in terms of how rich we are, in terms of course, everybody knows about the Neptunes and Timberland, but a lot of people don't know about some of the other jewels, of course, a lot of people don't know this, that Wayne Newton was from Richmond. Ella Fitzgerald, the jazz singer, she's from Newport News. There is so much diversity, so much heritage and so much history that has come from the, state itself, and especially the 757. Of course, the Clips, Missy Elliott, of course, shout out to Mad Skills up in Richmond. Boogie Monsters way back in the day. For those that really go back deep in the crates, they had that song, Recognize Thresholds of Negative Stress. Definitely. But, it's kind of been, a challenge in terms of, the music scene, in terms of a lot of artists trying to break through, really getting to that next level. Although, we've had a lot of local artists, who got a little name out, like, Young Crazy, Young Money Yarn, Bo Smook and CEO Mock. How do you really gauge the music scene in Virginia in terms of its evolution and still progression, and as it's, still finding its form, and how just really, what made you decide to just really take up that mantle to really be like, yo, we're gonna do this, and we're really gonna get this area on and popping?
I think what made me feel like I was gonna get everything started and really do it big was just people hearing my music and loving it so much. So that made me insane. Off the cuff, I took it seriously. And then as far as how Virginia's music is evolving, I think we've come a long way as far as networking and people actually helping each other, make it somewhere. I think a lot of people say Virginia is what do they say? I don't want to use that term, crabs in a bucket, but that's what they say, and I think that's every city, though. I don't think that's just Virginia. I think that you can go to any city and feel that way, you know. So I will say I get a lot of love in Virginia. I've had a lot of support. I wouldn't even be on this station with you if it wasn't for my hometown, you know, repping hard for me. So.
Definitely, and of course your manager, you know, Hassani, you know, Shakur, you know, shout out to him, of course, for making the connect in terms of all this happening. You know, good dude, you know, and
you said Hustle.
You know,
you said Hustle Entertainment Esquire.
Yes, Hustle Entertainment Esquire. That's the company itself, you know, of course. But then, gentlemen, you know, Hassani Shakur, yes, you know, but Hustle, yeah, man. But it's definitely, you know, something that, you know, we had chopped it up, and he had told me about you, you know, and I passed on to King, and we were like, here we are, you know, because we definitely, you know, we heard it, we were sold. We were like, whenever she's available, let's get it.
For real.
But yeah, man.
And who are some of your musical inspirations and making you be like, yo, I want to go in and start pursuing this? Like, who inspired you?
Who inspired me? The list is so long, I wouldn't even know where to start.
We got plenty of time. Go ahead.
Just give us three. Give us three.
Top three that made me like, boom, you're going to be a rapper, I'm definitely going to have to say Young Jeezy, Lil Boosie, and I don't know if y'all know Tink from Chicago.
Tink from Chicago, yeah, that's who Timberland was rocking.
In high school,
Tink is,
I used to ride around listening to her all the time, and I didn't even rap back then when I was listening to her, and I think she had so much style, it was like, okay, she's able to be herself. She's able to rap and sing. She's able to be herself, and people appreciate it. So I can go and be myself. I don't have to, you know, be what I've seen already.
Yeah. Look, you and Tink got to get that collabo on, too, for real, because first time I heard Tink, I was like, this girl's bananas.
She don't really rap that often no more in her songs. She mostly sing, but I would love to do a collab with her. That would be amazing.
Yeah, for all the listeners out there, check her out on YouTube, man. Tink's been doing this first time I heard her was going back around 2014, and I was blown away. The girl is marvelous, you know. I mean, and of course, you know, Boosie, you know, shout out to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, down bottom. You know, I mean, Boosie, you know, just always keeping it rough, rugged, and raw. And, of course, Jeezy. Shout out to CTE, DJ Ace, you know, Ferrari Simmons, you know, all the other guys. That's really the name of the clique, the other guys. You know, and it's like those you know, I mean, and, yeah, I'm biased because those are my people. So it's like, yeah, you know, but Jeezy, definitely. So, I mean, you got such a distinguished and legendary foundation that really set the template. But what you said about Tink really resonates with me, you know, Brown, because you were talking about how when she raps, she's really able to be herself. You feel an authenticity in her artistry that is not always commonplace, because you see a lot of artists be capping, you know, putting on for the gram, and you don't always feel like that is a genuine representation of who they really are as individuals.
Exactly. Yeah.
How important do you feel it is for your art to be articulated from a genuine place of who a person is in terms of where their soul, where their spirit, where their aura, where their real consciousness comes from?
I think that is what art is. I think that is the beauty of music, is that I can genuinely say what's on my mind, and someone else will relate to it. You know what I'm saying? The idea of me rapping, I think, is I can put things into words that most people can't speak. So. For me, when I can be myself and be genuine when I say those things, I think I can touch more people, and I think that is very important, definitely.
Definitely. How do you think social media has influenced in terms of where it's kind of been the conduit in reference to how artists are interacting with their fans and what they want to project? Do you think a lot of times especially with what the industry standards are at a certain level, a lot of people feel the need to kind of stretch, exaggerate, and I mean, we got to use the L word, outright lie about shit, just in order to portray an image. What do you feel about it these days with social media?
That's definitely what they do. I mean, everybody does it on social media. If I can be honest, I mean, I have to do it sometimes. Sometimes I'm dressed up like I'm about to go somewhere, knowing they're going to wear it was just for a photo shoot that day. You know what I'm saying? So
that's different, though. That is different.
But as far as, like, you want to cap about having money or whatever, look, we all in a struggle. There ain't even no need for you to do that.
Yeah, you know, and I think that's a very refreshing element about it, about yourself, because I think,
guys, hold on 1 second. I think we have a call on the line. We got an 815 caller.
815, you on the
815, you want?
Hey, how you guys doing? I just wanted to call in and show my love and support for Hustle and brownSUGar. I love them. That's my family, and Hustle is a good friend of mine.
Hey,
thank
girl,
you so
what
much
you
for calling in.
Yeah, this is Miss Kristen Parker. She's been a supporter since day one, y'all.
Yes. Hey, Miss Chris, how you?
Good. How are you? Yeah, I haven't had a chance to meet her yet. I've listened to her music, and I can't wait until I can meet her and go to one of her shows.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. We actually got some shows coming up, so Hustle is going to send you some tickets.
All right.
Definitely.
I just wanted to show my love and support for you guys, and I love your guys' show.
Appreciate it.
You guys all stay blessed.
You too, Miss Chris. Look, you can always come in anytime, call in. Look, you always welcome.
All right. Take care. You guys have a good night.
Yes, ma'am. You too. Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Got love for the shy.
Yes. But see, Brown, you got so much love from people you haven't even met directly yet. See, we know your vibe is vivacious and all things positive and magnanimous. See.
Yeah, the crossover effect is in full effect, man.
Yeah, man.
You never know who's listening.
That's true.
No, for real, that is so true.
That is true. What I was about to say, is that, one thing about what you said about we're all in the struggle, I think that's one thing about the element of any profession, whether, a lot of people want to portray an image of perfection when the reality is life itself is imperfect. It's not always this, picture perfect as existence. Me and King, off the air, on the air, we talk about just what goes on in the industry, and even with us, because we're just two regular guys who work a regular 9 to 5, who love hip hop and are blessed to be able to do something like this, but, a lot of people don't understand what really goes into it in terms of, whether you're broadcast journalists like ourselves or you as an artist, really, paving the way. What have you found in terms of your journey in all of this, in terms of what it takes to really be, in terms of, writing your rhymes, getting your creative flow going, actually being in the studio, all the elements that entail what being an artist is?
What have I learned?
Yes.
Is that it is much easier to dream a dream than it is to live it. And that is true. It is, it's definitely, considering that I still do have to work, I got to work to pay my bills still, So we're not at a point yet where we're traveling and I can pay the bills and still do everything. So just working and then coming home and knowing that I cannot relax because I have to get on the phone and, do interviews or go take pictures, do my makeup and go put this on or, write music. So A lot of sacrifice, a lot of time spent, a lot of investment. Everything is an investment. Once you start living your dreams, everything is investment. That 5 minutes that you spending in that bed extra, you set yourself up for failure. You should have been up 10 minutes ago, type of idea. I think your time spent is definitely important. Your money spent is important. And it's the struggle. It's the struggle until you get where you want to be, and you got to keep pushing.
Especially when you're a female in this too, and it's a different type of talent that a lot of women go through just to get their voice, just to get their music heard.
Definitely. It being a male-dominated industry, a lot of men, I think that you need something from them to get where you need to be. And for all the women, anybody who listens, you do not. Do it yourself. You will make it. You will be okay. Do it yourself.
And the cool part about this is whenever you're trying to, promote your music, every male all of a sudden, they either an album cover designer, they're A&R, they're a producer. It's like all of a sudden you get dudes on your Facebook or your Instagram. All of a sudden they hit your line like, yeah, I do this, that, and the third. But then you look at their track record, you like, man, this nigga ain't got no stripes. He just want to get some.
Look, we done had it all happen from, I want to do a collab with you, come to the studio. Like, no. We know the lingo these days. It's not going to work, baby.
They hit you with the old I'm a producer line.
Yeah, we're going to do a collab. I want you to come to the studio. Let's fill out some vibes.
That's that slick industry talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look,
you can't go run nothing on brownSUGar. I'm like, look, y'all better come. First of all, y'all got to come with some get back. Y'all got to come with some beats. Y'all got to come with a heavy artillery. First of all.
Definitely.
Yeah, and one thing about I think people have to understand is that, because in the game of it, and one thing that has always been very admirable about yourself, Brown, is that you've always managed, we're listening to you, and obviously this is not something in terms of this temperament, this determination, this dedication, and this desire that you display. This is not obviously something that you just show. This is something that you've had in you. This is an intrinsic link with your talent and then the tenacity of what you have committed yourself to be successful. So it's obvious that nobody is really going to run no game on you because you're sweeter than all the rest in terms of knowing how to sidestep, all the slick talk. And that's important.
Period.
I think a lot of people really don't understand what this, male or female, I'm saying, for the males it's hard enough already because of trying to, get your foot in the door, and just getting yourself heard. And for a woman, it's twice as hard because of how, like you said, it's a male-dominated field. Women are a lot of times still unfairly looked at as not necessarily as equals. When we have seen in history with hip-hop legends, Queen Latifah, Trina, Lil' Kim, MC Lyte, Bahamadia, the list goes on and on. Missy Elliott. These are distinguished legends who, their talent and merits alone, warrant recognition. But yet and still, this is always still a fight for it. In terms of what you as a woman have seen in the game, what would you like to pretty much show the next generation of young women coming into the game in terms of what it means to really maintain your integrity and your love of the culture without getting shortchanged and disillusioned by the obstacles that may come?
I think it reverts back exactly to what we were talking about earlier as far as just be genuine to yourself. Do not put yourself in a situation that you're uncomfortable, that you feel like it's going to make you look a way that you don't want to portray yourself. Be exactly who you want to be. Don't let people, try to push you into another lane where you're uncomfortable. I think that's the biggest. Hold your own reign. Don't let anybody control what you got going on. I heard somebody say, and it always stuck with me, see your dreams through and don't let nobody see your dreams through for you. And I feel like once you do that, I'm sorry?
No, I was just going to say, yeah. I mean, because of through your vision, you're going to understand what your 2020 is to somebody's definition of 100. And their 100 may not be your 2020. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think, because I would say, I think the biggest thing in the rap industry right now is that we have a lot of people have a problem with the way that women are rapping or dressing or anything like that. But I feel like if that's you, do you. If that's really who you are, do you, and you will be happy. You know what I mean? That's just not my taste. It's not my style, so I can't do it personally.
Definitely. And I'm going to speak on this.
Is at the end of the day. That's what benefits you in the long run. Yeah, benefiting being yourself in the long run is what's going to take you far.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I'm going to speak on this because a lot of people, even though the songs, got a little, it's a little kind of, I don't want to say old, but it's kind of, marinated a bit, about what everybody was saying about Megan and Cardi, wet ass pussy song. And I'm like, they were trying to say, oh my God, this is degrading. This is women degrading. And, and then they was trying to say, I'm like, no, it's not. I'm like, look, let's get off the proverbial pseudo moral high horse stuff. And I'm like,
and I be telling them girls that's too real against it. Them girls that's all against that wet ass pussy and all of that. That's probably why your nigga be cheating on you. You need to be over there listen to some of that music, have some fun sometime, let your hair down, and just have some fun. Let your hair down. Come on now, y'all. Do better than that. Don't judge these women for something they would. It was music, and I thought it was a great song, to be honest.
Definitely. And one thing about it, and what you said, Brown, is something that is actually the tenets of hip-hop. It's about having fun. I'm like, this is not something where the cultural and ethical center of the culture will not be worn down. It will not be eroded by some shit. Number one, that everybody loves. Number two, everybody be doing, and three, about expression. Because at the core of it, there are songs that are straight trash that should have never been recorded. That song is not one of them. That is called hip-hop having fun. There is a time for political commentary. There is a time for comedy. And yes, there's even a time to talk about the things we like in terms of when we get into the wild and nasty horizontal monkey dance. So it is all good. And I think sometimes people, we get lost in the elements of what I think is arbitrarily defined as real hip-hop, where, I guess, and me and King, we pride ourselves being traditionalists on it, but we also understand, too, the game has to evolve, and there has to be different levels of expression.
I was just about to say that.
Go ahead. Please, go ahead.
That, the rap game has evolved so much that there are so many different lanes, and we have to, we just got to separate it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say that, who's the young man that passed away? Extension. I wouldn't say that
Triple Extension.
Oh, that's how I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That's all good. I wouldn't put him in the same category as Jay-Z and say, oh, this isn't real hip-hop because this is what real hip-hop is. No, because they're in two different lanes. I can't, compare like that.
Yeah, I mean, and when you have Juice WRLD, rest in peace, with his song Lucid Dreams, one thing about it, and I think we have to understand this, and this is something, if we're really going to sit and have a discussion about it, which we have plenty of time to do, it's something that we have to look at where, me and King are older, so we came up from an entirely different perspective of, what we perceive, what we grew up. I'm not going to say perceive because we grew up with what we understood. Where we grew up listening to Rakim, Cool G Rap, Slick Rick, KRS, you could even throw Big, and Tupac, and Jay in there, because that was all of our era. But when we're looking at it going into the late 90s, early 2000s, this is where you start seeing the Lil Waynes. This is where you start seeing, Cash Money come in the game. This is where you start, you see, you could say T.I., Jeezy comes in, and in 2001. A lot of people don't know about his first album when he was Lil J, Thuggin' Under the Influence.
Oh, I know when he was Lil J.
Yeah,
so
you're a historian. Yeah, you're a historian just like we are. Yeah, I mean Gucci Mane. So we're seeing all of these. We're seeing the transitions in terms of where the youth influences started to shape now, and as we're seeing a lot of the younger guys out, right now, who are doing their thing. Shout out to A Boogie with the Hoodie, and then rest in peace, of course, to Pop Smoke. These are individuals. These are who were in that time frame of how they were growing up. 50 Cent, among them, was beginning to be their new wave. So everybody's going to have their different sense of nostalgia from how they perceive their influences, and I think a lot of times we can't shun the youth for what they grew up listening to because that's their time. But we can just tell them.
And not to mention that even the people from our era are still making music.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people that are not talking about what Cardi B and Meg is rapping about. There's a lot of female rappers in particular that's not talking about that, and yet they don't get the support. So I think we live in the era of the complainer as well. Like, it's easy to complain.
Yeah, that's true. And everybody talks about, well, hip hop's dead. I'm like, no. I'm like, number one, if we look at it from the old school, Nas just. I'm like, Nas just dropped one of the. Yeah, and I'm like, Nas just dropped one of the finest albums this year. Benny, with Griselda. Shout out to Griselda Records. They still keeping it alive. It's individuals like yourself, Brown, that are still, doing it, keeping hip-hop alive. So, I mean, hip-hop's in good hands with individuals like yourself and the aforementioned. What do we do in terms of making sure that the culture stays pushing forward and doesn't get caught up in doesn't get taken down from individuals who really are just kind of in it for notoriety, but not really for the desire to really make an impact?
I haven't thought of a solution to that. I've actually never been asked that question, but I will say the first thing that popped up to my brain when you said that was these daggone labels are literally signing anybody. We need to check labels from now on.
Take it to church. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
We need to be checking these labels because these independent artists that are coming up, they got to be hot because somehow they made it with their own bread and their following got them to that point where they at, right? But then you have these people who have a very small following, but they run into the correct person and they get signed on these labels for all of this money, and they have these wonderful distribution deals and things, but it's not good music, and they're probably going to come out with one album, maybe a piece of another one, So I think it's the labels. We need to check the labels.
Yeah, they used to promote that Happy Meal music because it's easy. It's quick money. It's easy to profit off. It don't take much of an effort to pack it. So it's that whole Happy Meal effect.
Yeah. And like King said, you know, a lot of times, you know, King has a background in journalism, so he's written about this. You know, he used to review albums, so he understands this ear. I'm a lifelong reader, you know, over 25 years reading Double XL and, you know, Source Magazine, amongst other hip-hop, you know, literature. So we see how the game has changed in the paradigm of how, you know, artists are being able to market themselves. On one end with social media, you know, it is easier for artists to kind of do it themselves. You know, I mean, shit, we could have only dreamed when I was in high school of, I mean, to write a song, let alone get in the studio and get a video for it. I mean, you're jumping through 3 hoops just to get one goal. And, you know, with technology now, it's like it's easy for these artists to, I mean, you can do a video from a cell phone and upload it.
Yeah.
But like you said, a lot of these artists really, you know, I think, if we go into really, you know, we're going to go there a little bit. A lot of artists who are coming into the game, I don't think they really have a love of the music more than they just love the idea of notoriety, just to say that they got something out because they think that's some type of credentials for celebrity.
Right.
All of us here take this culture which we were birthed in. We love this like our family because this is how it relates to us. So this is something we have a very, very, very intimate connection to. And but like you said, Brown, when you look at a lot of these labels, they're looking at it from a perspective of money. You know, but you do, you know, and they're just looking for, like King said, that Happy Meal microwave rap, you know. But when you look at artists like
you know,
BG Perico, go ahead.
You're trying to serve a dinner. You know, when you're trying to serve a dinner, it's going to take a lot of preparation. It's going to take a lot of creating. It's going to take a lot of mixture.
Yes.
So they figure, hey, we'll just go with the Happy Meal because, you know, it's less work, and we might hit the jackpot, and we could cake off it from there. It's the lazy mindset. Nobody wants to really create stars for people to have longevity careers no more. That's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
like I feel like when I was coming up, if you had an artist that was a one-hit wonder, then that was, you know, absolutely horrible, you know. These days, if you do a one-hit wonder, then, I mean, I did get the check from it, so.
But you know, Brown, you know, with what what you've been doing, what you and your team have been doing, you know, this has been the most genuine of a concerted effort because this is a total team effort in terms of what's done. You know, because a lot of people really have to understand from the science of this. This is not something that if you want something good, it's going to happen overnight. You know, shout out to so many artists, East and West Coast, you know, that are, you know, doing it independently. Shout out to BG Perico, Broadway Gangster, you know, Crip out in L.A., South Central doing his thing. Shout out to Cam and China, Inglewood, you know, Up to No Good. They doing their thing. Shout out to, of course, Griselda Records, Benny, Westside Gun, City Boy, Conway. And one thing about it is they've really built that buzz from a perspective of the basic principles, good music and getting it out to the masses. Because one thing about it, and the names I'm going to mention behind this, and on Off the Cuff Radio, we are never out to single anyone out or embarrass anybody, but we just speak on these as examples and you know, antidotes. It's like looking at a lot of artists like Young Thug, you know, Rich Homie Quan, you know, Soulja Boy. I mean, they had their run years ago, but where are they now? You know? Yeah. And
y'all don't listen to Young Thug these days?
Huh?
Y'all don't listen to Young Thug these days?
Not as much. Now, if he has a new project, I will show my ignorance and say that I didn't hear it. But I was saying that from an analogy of he was big. You know, when you look at when he dropped Danny Glover a couple of years back, you know, I believe that was in 2012, 2014 when that first hit. You know, of course, he had the Slime Season and then the Jeffrey mixtape. But it's like he's still really from that level. And, of course, he did a joint with Gunna. I do know about that last year. But it's like he still hasn't really found himself in that place of where, and I could be wrong when I say this because I've been wrong before and I'll be wrong again. It's like he may still be out there, but it's not like he made that impact like he was years ago, where he was like that guy, and now he's like a guy among many guys trying to get that position back into it.
Atmosphere play a key role too, because keep in mind with that style of music, a lot of people that pop off within making club and party music, they're having kind of a struggle right now to adapt because things have changed. Like, if you look at the world now, a lot of the clubs are shut down, a lot of the parties are shut down, people money hurting, they ain't really can't floss. So it's a matter of just trying to adapt your content. And a lot of these guys, I guess what they're going to do, they're going to probably wait till the pandemic come out with a club bang. They probably going to come out with the first song called Mad Score. That's going to pop, boy. So it's just a matter of the timing and the environment. Now, WAP, however, that took off because, those two are the hottest ladies doing it right now. But a lot of these guys here that built their catalog off doing club music, COVID made sure they take a back seat for the meantime. Better come out with a Black Lives Matter album.
Definitely. Brown, you still with us?
I'm here. I'm
Okay. Okay. It's all good.
Yeah, the laughing stuff, but that's why she had to put the phone off.
Yeah. Look, we didn't want to dominate the conversation with you being our guest either, so we wanted to get your input as well. Please come in anytime, with your opinion. Please.
Yeah, definitely.
This is your time as much as it is ours, and we enjoy having your time with us. So please, anything you want to put input on, please do.
I definitely agree with what he was saying as far as the climate of music changing and people not being able to keep up with it.
Mhm. Now, one thing about it too, Brown, is the business aspect of it. What do artists have to understand from all levels of making sure that they are publishing, their distribution, and most importantly, their management? In terms of facilitating all business, how important is all of that in terms of making sure that is in place?
I think that's like the biggest part of it. Like, yeah, you could do shows and you can go to the studio, but if your business isn't right, then you are not running a business. You're just out here. So as far as management, all help is not good help. Don't just pick up anybody and say, oh, this is going to be my manager, because trust me, you're not going to be very happy. As far as business-wise with publishing and everything, please make sure you are registered. Make sure that you have a publishing company so you can receive all of your money. Make sure that you are, crossing your T's and dotting your I's. Don't sign any contracts before you read through them, because I think we do that so often out of excitement. We just so ready to catch a break, and every piece of paper that you receive is not meant for you to sign.
Definitely. Master P, he said this, I believe, in the 1997 October issue of Source magazine, and he was talking about how artists get into these deals and about how they sometimes get into bad deals. And he's like, if you've been broke, 20 years, what's the difference between what's being broke another year? It ain't gonna change nothing. You wait around until you have the best opportunity that's presented to you to sign on. Of course, with your management, I know he's definitely giving you a lot of the knowledge from, people he's known in the industry, and, keeping you on the right track about stuff and about how things can happen. King and myself, we've seen this for years with a lot of artists, we've read about with horror stories in terms of them signing contracts, we can say this because this isn't too incendiary. They won't have, people up in front of our houses. This was years ago what 50 Cent was talking about when he was signed with Columbia, and they had him for 8 albums. He said they thought I was Luther Vandross or something over there.
That is insane.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah. He got out of it after they released him from the contract after he got shot, but it's but still, I'm like 8 albums. I'm like, good Lord. Or then
the average rap,
yeah.
The average rap fan has like 3 albums at tops.
Usually. I mean, but there's other examples. I mean, you're looking at stuff with and like you said, Brown, with what happened about the business. Busta Rhymes, I think years ago, he actually had to take Elektra Records to court because they weren't paying him his royalties. If I got the story right, because it's been a while since I read it, the initial issue was that Busta was getting a lot of upfront money from the labels for his record, but he wasn't getting any more money after that. And then when he found out how much money he was not getting off of his royalties from his album sales, that's when he took them to court. And he did win. He did win the case, and he ended up getting payment on all that royalty money that he did not get. There's another situation. We will not mention this individual on air, but there's a situation where we had an artist we interviewed, and they talked about, this person that was signed, people that were signed to this person, that this person had their own publishing company, and this person, owned everybody's publishing,
What?
And we were, yeah. For security reasons, even though this is off the cuff and we get off the cuff, we can't mention this person's name. We can't do that. But we did interview this individual. Well, we interviewed one of their artists last year, and they told us about it. King knows exactly what I'm talking about when I say this. Yeah. But we were shocked, because we were word? Really? He had their publishing? So like you said, but that's real. You have to maintain knowledge of what is going on. That's like when Tyga was on the radio he did a radio interview 3-4 years ago, and he talked about, they asked him how much did he sign for when he signed the Young Money, Cash Money. He's like, he didn't even know what his signing bonus was. I'm like, dude, how do you not know what your signing bonus is?
So his money was all messed up.
Look,
these guys, I'm like, y'all don't do no research or nothing. Y'all just, but then again, they take advantage of these guys because they know they hungry. They know they trying to eager and desperate. So they sign them to them, 10 album deals and collect some of the back end money and the front end money, then taking the tour money with the 360. Yo, that's messed up these days.
Yeah. And and I think that's something too. And I want to get your opinion of it. We want to get your opinion of this too, Brown. What is when you do start seeing money, in the business? How important is it to save your money in terms of actually just not trying to blow it, trying to stunt with everybody? Hello, Brown. You still with us?
I'm trying to see if she's still on.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah,
okay,
we
can hear you. We can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry, y'all. I live in the boonies, so we don't have signal.
It's okay. It's okay. But we wanted to know. I was asking. We wanted to know how important is it when you start making money in the industry? How important is it to save your money and not try to stunt with everybody out there?
I was saying it would be very important to me. I'm a simple woman, so I don't feel like I have to compete with anybody. So I don't need to spend my money to compete with people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think that you never know when it comes to like the music industry. Same thing with hustling. You never really know when that next check is coming, so you better be prepared. This COVID happened, and all of those artists, were out back. They didn't have money saved up, so you can't do shows and stuff. What you gonna do then?
Right. And that also comes to our next question in terms of, diversifying your portfolio. In addition to rapping, doing music, what else would you like to do in terms of really branching out on your artistic and creative talents?
I would love to get into acting.
Okay. What type of acting would you like to do? Comedy, drama?
Comedy.
Who's some of your favorite actors? Comedies. What movie, and you can use any movie as a reference. What movie would you want to do that type of in terms of comedy? Like an All About, like a Friday or a House Party? What type of comedy would you like to do?
I would, obviously everybody would love to do a Friday. I would like to do a Friday, but like a scary movie.
Okay.
I would love to do, like, if they did another scary movie, I would love to do that.
Definitely. Who are some of your favorite actors and actresses in comedy or serious otherwise who really, inspire you to really pursue your thespian pursuits?
I love Taraji. Like, that, I was a kid watching her on BET after 106 Park went off. Her little movies on BET. I would have to say her. Virgina Orgins.
Mm-hmm.
I think you break it up.
Going in now.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I was saying if I did a comedy, I would love to do something with me. And Regina Hall and definitely Taraji. So that's my three.
Okay. Yeah, man. But it's definitely, I think, important.
Scripts.
Yeah. Look, somebody developed a script for this girl right here. So we need to get somebody on the call to develop a script for you right now and whatnot. Get you in, like they say, you should be in pictures.
That is funny.
Yeah, but like you said, though, there's always a practicality that has to be in professionalism, and I think a lot of times a lot of artists really don't understand that because this is the real world, and like you said, like King said, things can change at any point, and it's at the end of the day, you got to take care of yourself, and we've seen too many horror stories with athletes, with artists. We look at what happened with Jermaine Dupri some years ago when the IRS hit him up, because he hadn't paid, his taxes on stuff. We look at Hammer, with what happened with him, all the issues he had financially. If you saw the ESPN special Broke, where it talked about a lot of those athletes in terms of how they were just blowing through money, and I guess when we get into the celebrity lifestyle in a sense of it, it's easily seductive because you're getting to live out your dreams at a level of, indulgence that a lot of people don't ever really see. But I guess it's easy to get lost in all of that. From your experience with people you've met in the industry, and some stuff you've seen, you don't have to mention names, of course. What have you seen in the industry that goes on that a lot of people really may not see behind the scenes?
What people don't see behind the scenes, literally, me as an independent artist, so I don't know, label-wise what they're going through, but I know as an independent artist, I used to pay for everything. So from the studio time to the makeup, to the hair, to the video person, to the location, to the club mix that you got to put it together, literally everything, you know, you've paid for. So I think that is something that people don't get to see. You don't get to see the sacrifice that goes into it like that.
Right. Yeah, because people only see the finished product a lot of times, but they don't understand what really goes into it in terms of, you know, how much it is, you know, and it's something because, you know, we're all students of the game. We've seen this. You know, you got a lot of artists, you know, who take that street money and they flip it, and, you know, they've got to, you know, I mean, artists like Jeezy, I still laugh when I hear this story about what he talked about when he did a video shoot for, the album cover shoot for 101 and all those boxes of money. So, you know, initially they had, you know, he was, you know, the story was initially that he had gone to the set and, you know, they had all the fake money laid out, and he was like, nah, cuz I just ain't feeling, I can't do it. So this dude calls up one of his people. 20 minutes later, they bring in like 4 duffel bags with a total of $1.3 million. And that's what they use for the photo shoot.
I will.
Real money.
Real money. But I said that to say, though, y'all, is that you have a lot of people, you know, because Jeezy, we all know his history, you know, so we know that he was really out there getting it. And shout out to Goldmouth, you know, one of his, you know, people's, you know, his side, you know, his right-hand man that we interviewed some months ago. So we know what those guys really went through out there on the block, and they were able to really finance their operation. But not everybody has that, you know, that elevator to take them on the way up financially. And I think that's what makes artists like you so important and so inspiring, because you are the real woman in the real world that shows what real determination and is, you know, an effort. You know, because like you said, you know, when you're you know, when you know you and your team are doing all this independently, it's a whole different type of understanding. You know, and you know, the hunger, you know, has to be intense. It has to be ravenous for success in terms of that appetite to, you know, achieve. You know, but you have definitely shown us, you know, I mean, and we're loving this interview we're having with you right now. You've shown us.
Thank y'all. I really enjoyed this conversation. Thank y'all.
Yeah, we're loving the interview. I mean, if you gotta go, we understand. But if you can stay, for a little longer, we'd love to have you on to chop it up some more.
Yeah, when you drop that project, you definitely got to come on back.
Yeah,
definitely. We're actually working on some stuff right now. We today was manager meeting day, and we're gonna get together our schedule for our next upcoming studio appointment so that we can finish up this project. So it will be very soon. We will be putting a date on it by the end of this week.
That's what's up. Now, when you say studio, you know, it's one thing about it to have a studio to record in, Brown, but how important is it to have the people behind the boards who really know what they're doing in terms of the mixing and mastering and the engineering and all that?
I think that's the biggest thing. I think you could even have somebody who knows how to do the mixing and mastering, and they can have the best ear, you know, in the city.
Right.
But if they don't actually give a fuck about you and your music, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
It literally has to be somebody who cares about your vision. If they don't want to see your vision with you, your music is still not going to matter. It's not going to end up the way that you want it to be.
Right. Right. You know, and you know, one thing about it, we tell people, you know, if you got a desire, you know, and if you got the heart for it, because this will test your heart and your patience a lot of times, you know, but if you, it's something where if you can make the best with what you got, and I tell people this when they may feel, you know, down and they feel out and they may feel like giving up, I tell people all the time, no, don't ever give up, because if this is your passion, this is your purpose, this is what drives and helps you and your creative outlet. Don't give that up, because this is an extension of who you are. And on that journey, although it may be rocky and trembly, you never know who you may find that's going to give you those hiking boots for the grip and, you know what I'm saying, those night vision goggles when everything may get dark and you can't see it, but somebody else does. So you never know who's going to join up with you along the way, and that's why you never give up, you know, because you never know who's there to give you a helping hand, because they see what you're putting in and they recognize your potential for greatness, and they're going to want to see you be great, you know.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Now, before you leave, do you have any shout-outs you want to give out to? And you can tell people where to find your music and your YouTube or your social media handles.
I'm sorry. I'm on all streaming platforms now, so you can. That's from Spotify to iTunes to Apple Music, SoundCloud. If you don't have any of those, my name is brownSUGar, BROWNSUGAR. You can hit me up on Instagram. It's 6ROWNSUGAR_. You asked one more question. It was one more thing you said. I can't remember. Oh, shout out.
Shout out. Yeah, shout out.
Yes.
Shout out to my mama. Shout out to my mama. Shout out to Hustle Esquire. And shout out to T-Man, who makes all of my beats. Shout out to my best friend, Red. And thank y'all so much for having me up here.
We thank you for coming on. Yeah, no problem. And you're welcome back anytime. Look, just hit Hustle. Let them know. Hustle can reach us.
It's my daddy's birthday, y'all. Today is my dad's birthday. He's 46 today.
Happy birthday to the sire of the queen of the next big DA scene. Yes.
Yes, indeed.
He's a king that birthed the princess to be the queen. Yes, yes. So we got to give a shout out to your dad. Happy birthday.
Thank y'all. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. I'm sure he's listening.
Yeah. Look, and if you're listening,
we're gonna have the replay up for you and the interview in full on YouTube, so you can share it with your base. And we're going to keep it pushing from there. Along with the new music you dropping, you have a support group at 100,000.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Definitely. Well, we appreciate you having on. And, hey, like I said, just keep doing what you're doing and keep putting on for 2 Up, 2 Downtown all around, 757 and beyond, You about to take it, about to make that nuclear blast, all over the universe. So, hey, we behind you all the way with it.
Thank y'all so much. I'm signing out. It's brownSUGar, baby.
Yeah.
We out of here.
Peace.